Hey, I thought I'd share a little project I've been working on here. A few months ago, I put together this solar charger, this solar generator, a really little one. It's run by a 10-watt solar panel that I got at Canadian Tire. Somebody gave me this 12-volt sealed lead acid battery, 12-volt, 7 amp hour. And the brains, or the computer that controls it all, is this Midnight Brat. And this is a charge controller. So this system we used just as a learning experience and kind of for fun to charge our phones overnight using solar power. You can take it camping, you can keep your devices running. So this solar panel dumped power into here when the sun was shining during the day, and then we could charge our phones or other devices on this thing or take it with us during the night. Okay, now after a few months, this lead acid battery kind of gave up. It didn't really like being deep cycled, so it didn't like being emptied at night and then charged up during the day over and over. It was a used battery to start with, so it eventually stopped charging. Now, over the last few weeks, I've tried to replace it using a lithium battery. Now, you can buy these, of course, online, but I wanted to see if I could build my own lithium battery using recycled laptop batteries. So this battery pack here comes out of a Lenovo computer. Someone gave me a box of old laptop batteries. Now, usually when a laptop battery goes, it's only 1 or 2 cells that have gone bad inside the pack. The rest can still be good. So these are actually worth a bit of money, but you have to put some time into figuring out which cells are still good. So I broke apart a whole bunch of packs, and when you do that, you get what looks like this. So they come in all different colors, but they come in one size. So most packs are made from what's called a 18650 lithium cell, and they're called an 18650 because they are 18 millimeters. There we go. So 18 millimeters in diameter and 65 millimeters in length. Okay, now there's all different brands, like I said, and they vary in quality. So a good 18650 cell will give you 35 or even 3800 milliamp hours of time, of basically usable time, and around 4 volts, or apparently 3.7 nominal volts of voltage. Okay, voltage is really the strength or the push behind the current that's going to provide, or behind the energy, I should say. And then the amp hour rating is how long that battery can sustain being used. And those terms aren't exactly right, but that's the general idea. Okay, I got a charger, and this is another way to test those batteries once they come out of the pack. So I put them on here. I determined which cells can still hold a charge. So some of them were really too low in voltage and didn't hold a charge, and they got recycled. I kept the good ones, and then from the good ones, I built this 12-volt battery pack. Now this looks pretty sketchy, but it actually does work. You can solder them together, or you can buy these caps and systems, and a friend of mine gave me these end caps, and they basically click together and give you a nice looking block. So this particular battery is put together with 5 cells in parallel, so it's a 5P, and 3 cells in series, and it's a 3S. So we call this a 3S 5P battery block, or just a battery, I guess. And I'll explain that a little bit. When you put cells in series like this, so end to end, this is the way most flashlights and common devices work, the voltages can add together. So 4 volt plus 4 volt plus 4 volt gives you 12 volts of power. And then the amp hour rating would stay the same. So even though you increase in the push or the strength of this battery pack, the amount of time that this battery pack would last would stay the same. So 25 milliamp hours, which I'm assuming these batteries are about that in their amp hour rating. Okay, if you put a series of batteries in parallel, like what this drawing shows, The voltage stays the same, but the amp hours get added together. So this would be a longer lasting battery, 3 times as long with the same voltage. Okay, what we did here is we combined parallel and series arrangements. So I've got a 5P, and you can see they are joined together. The negative ends are joined together with nickel strips there on the top, and then the positive ends are joined together on the bottom. And then that bank becomes, in effect, like one battery. And then it is put end to end. So it's joined together down here, positive to negative. And then it's joined together up here again with the third bank. And then the battery ends there on the positive terminal. So we've got a 5P and a 3S, 1, 2, 3 battery. Now the other issue is with lithium battery packs like this is they need a battery management system, which is really like a small computer that keeps the voltages approximately equal in each one of these banks. Those BMSs, or battery management systems, they will be built into battery packs like that. So when you break these open, you usually find a small chip that's right in there, and you'll see these wires running to the ends of each of those cells that are in here. And what that's doing is it's monitoring each one of the cells to make sure that when this battery is charged, the power is going into each one of those cells equally. Okay, that's what this BMS is doing over here. It's pretty hard to follow this wiring diagram, but essentially what I had to do was put a wire connected to the positive end of each one of those battery banks. So B1, 2, and 3. And then this computer is able to determine whether voltages are equal. It should be 4, 4, 4 approximately to make a total of 12. Okay, and that's what I've got going on here. So a 12 volt battery with a BMS, and I'm gonna see if I can put this in that and get that thing going again. All right, here we are with the lithium battery pack installed into the charging unit, and it seems to be working. So we're reading about 12.3 volts. The solar panel is sitting out in the sun, so that does pop up to 12.4 occasionally. The charge controller is showing that it's charging, and we're actually pulling a little bit of load out of the battery. We've got a phone charging at the same time. So it seems to be working. Time will tell if that pack can stand up to some deep charging, and I will put some plexiglass over this hole to make it a little more weather resistant and a little safer. We've got some exposed leads there that I don't like. Okay, that's it for now.